My name is Ron. I'm also from ISOM, also a PTA. And I'm here to share with you how I use Canvas quizzes to do scalable instant feedback. And that sounds a lot better than it actually is. So what do I mean by scalable instant feedback? Well, scalable because I teach classes of 120 students, or 30 students, or 60 students, and this works. And if I had 1,000 students, it would also work. So scalable. And instant feedback, we'll get to that. So the reason is I wanted students to be able to learn from the assessments. So assignments, they shouldn't be doing the assignments just for the grade. They should experience the learning as they're doing it. And so if you can get instant feedback, you can learn from what's happening. Right? And so encourage independent learning as they're doing these assessments. And so Canvas quizzes actually is a nice mechanism to achieve all of these things. So let me show you some parts of that. So there's a screenshot here of what a typical assignment would look like for one of my courses in Canvas. And the beautiful thing about Canvas quizzes is that anything with a predefined answer, it'll mark for you. Right? If there's multi-choice, it'll mark it for you. If there's a number that's the answer, it'll mark it for you. If there's a word that's the answer, it'll mark it for you. So anything where you can say this is the answer or these are the answers, Canvas will mark it for you. So there's your scalability right there. You can do it for any number of students, every single student in your course. So my task, for example, this assignment, for example, is task-oriented. They have to import a spreadsheet and then manipulate it. And the way that I prove or ask them to prove that they've done that successfully is that they can locate a particular value. So they calculate it with a formula, or they do some sorting and filtering to discover what the answer is. And that answer is really predetermined every time. And so, yes, so all these questions are actually tasks that they do. So question 1, question 2, and then 3 and 4 are more the same. They have to find certain values within the data set by manipulating a spreadsheet. And this is just one example. I've got other assessments similar, which are based on other types of data sets, doing other types of activities. So that's the first part, scalable because it's instant marking. Right? Now, here's the feedback. Here's the catch. So, actually, I should preempt this. So Andrew's going to talk about video feedback, where he gives them really rich feedback. And his talk is man yells at screen. My one, in contrast, is man does absolutely nothing. Because I give them no feedback apart from this is correct or this is incorrect. That's it. Right, so if they got the number, tick. No, wrong number, cross. Doesn't tell them how far they're off by. Doesn't tell them any more apart from that. And so that's not all bad though, because I give them 3 attempts at the same questions, at the same task. So if you get it wrong the first time, the onus is on the student to figure out what went wrong. And it could be any part along that process. Am I even using the correct file? Did I do everything perfectly, but I pushed the wrong number at the very end? Or I rounded incorrectly. I rounded to 3dp instead of 2dp, something like that. And so what you see quite typically is the first attempt, they won't do so well, but they'll improve because they start figuring out, they have to kind of figure out what's going on. Of course, I'm available, so they can come talk to me and I can guide them, but most students, they don't need it. 3 attempts is enough. So this is one student that took 2 attempts, and then more typically, students take all 3 attempts, and you see a progression in the marks where they start off getting quite a few questions wrong, but then they do better. They use the feedback, but also they talk to each other, right? Because if you have a friend that got full marks, they can help you out, right? And I think that's good too. So all of these assessments are really low stakes. They're worth 3%, 5%, 6% tops. And so, because I just want them to do it, really. And it's okay if they help each other out because they're learning as they're doing it. And so multiple attempts is also something that's built into the Canvas quizzes, and is another great part of the mechanism. And so the last part is to make it more authentic, to make it an actual assessment. It would be a bit pointless if everyone had the exact same task with the exact same answers, because only one student would have to do it, get the right answer, tell everyone the number to plug in, and they can bypass this whole learning process. So what I have to do is create a different quiz for every single student. And So that screenshot shows how this is all the same assignment, it's the X-Path assignment, and there's certain questions, but every student gets their own set of quizzes. So the quizzes are different in the sense that some of the questions are different. So some students, I might ask them, find me the top 3 rows, and other students I'll say, find me the bottom 3 rows, or the top 4 rows, or the top 6 rows. And also it's different because all of my, just based on the discipline I teach, all of my assessments are based on data sets. That they're given a database, or a spreadsheet, or a file, and every student gets a different file, slightly different file. So even if everything was exactly the same, their answer will still be different because of that randomization. So this is something that is not, it's not that easy to achieve. I've spent hours writing code to automate all of this so that I can, with a click of a button, or 10 clicks of 10 buttons, generate assignments for thousands of students. It will literally take me slightly more seconds of waiting to generate the difference between, say, 10 students to 1,000 students. So that's it. Simple as that, right? So in terms of learn, do, share, I just want to encourage you to think of how Canvas quizzes can be helpful to you. And actually what Krishna and Joe shared about the mastery thing, if you can map each of these questions to a mastery, to a learning mastery outcome, wow, it's all automatic too. So scalable, instant feedback for learning mastery. Wonderful. Do you have questions? Time for questions? I tried to make that quick. So. Yes.
How many questions do you have in a quiz, and how many questions are in a database so that you can mix and match?
The questions are all the same, but the question, as in, for example, question 1 might be, actually let me show you question 1. Question 1 here is, enter into Canvas the number of cells containing data in your data set. So for that one, every student will see the same question, but the answers will be different because they have a different file. Yeah, so I don't have a question bank, actually. My scripts will do some randomization to create analysis.
So how many questions do you have in a quiz?
I have roughly 8 to 10, and that's considered an assignment. And that'll be worth between 3 to 6%. Yeah. Unlimited time. So everything is due when the assignment is due, and they can open these quizzes and close them, go back to them. They work on it as if it's an assignment. Yeah, they just click submit when they want to check their answers. Yes.
Ron, is there possibilities to give differentiated feedback for the different attempts? So the first time they get it wrong, they might give them a clue, and the second time you might lead them to the video.
Yeah. So I would like to do that, but my understanding is with Canvas quiz feedback, it's always the same. Yeah. Does Quizzes.next change that at all? No? Okay. So, but it's still instant, right? Yeah. Yes.
I think there's a lot of potential for this across the institution, but you're a man with some certain highly specialized skills. How could we roll this out to the wider university?
I've thought about that. So, without me, or without whatever I've done, you can, if you version your assessments, if you can create 10 versions and then randomly assign them, then that's kind of the randomization aspect, right? To discourage plagiarism, it's not so easy to find someone with the same version and so on. The other aspect would be that, so I've tried to disseminate this, yeah, and so I'll keep trying, but I think working with the Canvas team, it wouldn't be that hard to create something where you just plug in some values and provide some things, and we can do the code to spit out things for every student.
We actually do that for a legal research paper, a part 2 paper, and we enter a bank of questions, and it's about 100 per.
Yeah, so it's a 10 question quiz, and each question there's 10 questions in that question, question bank of 10 questions. And then whenever a student goes into it, it'll be a randomised question from each bank.
Yeah.
And every student will get a different combination of those questions. Like they'll get the same 10 questions, but different versions of that question. So it's all randomised. No one will have the same test.
And they get multiple attempts,
Yeah,
so they can, oh, this is wrong, I can revise and reattempt.
yeah. But their next attempt will be a different
Ah,
round, 'cause
yeah,
it's
so-
always randomised.
Yeah.
They'll get the same 10 questions, but a different version of each
Yeah.
question.
So this is slightly different in the sense that because these are task-oriented, we want the mastery approach. We want them to try again and get it right again. Yeah. But it is.
My question is that you're talking about plagiarism is the fact that you can have two students sitting down together working on it and there's nothing you can do
Absolutely,
about it.
yeah. I tell my class this. I told them I've given up on trying to stop cheating. Because how do I know you didn't just pay someone to do this assignment for you? I don't. So I don't really care. So I'll just make it 3% and you can deal with that. So this is only one part of the course. The other part of the course is you have to pass these invigilator tests. Yeah.
I do have one question or one opportunity for you, and it's a shameless plug for the seed grants, which are due tomorrow night at 5 p.m.
I saw that.
Clear could provide you $5,000 to help disseminate your idea wider than.
Yeah. I've thought about that. I'll talk to you afterwards.
Make it 50.
5,000 hours would be better. So, it's,
I have the doubtful pleasure of attending examiners meetings where, where people are attacked for giving students assessments where they're almost guaranteed to get 100% in those assessments. What is your response to that kind of attack?
if you get 100% in these assignments, you still haven't passed the course. This is to help you learn, so that when you do get assessed proper. Right? So in this course, this is my current course. There are 40% assignments, 60% tests, and you have to pass the tests. Yeah. So you can't get a C minus from doing this. Yeah. But if you do really well in this, chances are you'll do really well in the test, and that's great. Do we have time? Do we do? Okay.
So what kind of correlation do you see between these assessments and assessments that you get students to sit under examination conditions? You just said that if you do well in these assignments, then it's likely that you will pass the test.
Yeah.
What kind of correlation do you see, and does that, I'll let you ask the first part.
The numbers aren't great because the average for each assignment is 90-something percent. Right? So most people getting full marks. The only students that don't get full marks are basically those that start late. That's the only thing I can see. Because there's no reason why with 3 tries and me helping on piazza and office hours, you can't get them all. So I don't look too much in the numbers. But you can see certain students that gain more from the assignment. Yeah. And also the assignments they're kind of a proxy for how well you are doing. Just because you can get these numbers right doesn't mean you're doing it properly, doesn't mean you're guaranteed a pass. You still have to show me well. And the difference under a test, or the key thing with the test is that there's time pressure and it's high stakes, which is totally opposite to this, which is low stakes with no time pressure. And I think that's just an unfortunate part of exams. I wish I didn't have to assess students, but we do, so let's help them, right? Yeah.
Are you trying to sometimes target different things with the quizzes than you're trying to target with these, because there's different opportunities? So then it becomes a bit of a problem, doesn't it, that everyone gets 100% on those particular things you're trying to target?
Targeting as in learning outcomes,
Yeah.
they would be the same, but the goal would be different. So the goal of the assignment would be to learn, and it's okay to make mistakes. That's great. Make your mistakes now. The goal of a test would be, now prove to me you have mastered the material, and therefore you can pass this course. Yeah. So they would learn the same thing, but the goal of assessment would be different. Yeah. And I mean, it's not perfect. I'm not an expert by any means. I gave myself a C on whether or not my innovation is scholarly. I have no idea. I just do this because it's instant, and then students learn. They seem to learn a lot, right? So if it's not scholarly, please come talk to me afterwards. I need to fix this.